teach you how to find the mean deviation for discrete frequency distribution data. Okay, you know what is the discrete frequency distribution data. So I'm going to take one example of discrete frequency distribution data and show you how to find the mean deviation about the mean. Okay, so here is the question, the second equation. X and f, if I take like this, so 2, 2, 5, 8, then 6, 10, 8, 7, 10, 8, 12, 5. Now this is a discrete frequency distribution problem. Now if the problem is this type, then how to find the mean deviation about mean? That's what we are going to find out here. So here, as usual, we are trying to find the mean deviation about mean. So that means we need first mean. So how to find the mean when the frequencies are given is simply we can the method of finding the mean is again the same. What is that? The sum of the data divided by number of the terms, isn't it? So here also we need the sum of the data and the number of the terms. So here it is like this. Score 2 are 2 actually. Score 5 is repeated 8 times. Score 6 is repeated 10 times. Score 8 is repeated 7 times. Score 10 is repeated 8 times. Score 12 is repeated 5 times. So that means if we add all these numbers, we are going to get the number of terms of this data. Okay. So let us find out that one. For our convenience, we can do this in the form of a table. So I will do this problem in the form of a table. So here in the first column I will write the scores, and the second column I will write the frequency. So score 2 is repeated 2 times, score 5 is repeated 8 times, score 6 is repeated 10 times, score 8 is repeated 7 times, score 10 is repeated 8 times, score 12 is repeated 5 times. So if I add all these numbers, we are going to get total scores of this data. So here 2 plus 8 is 10, 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 7 is 27, 27 plus 8 is 35, 35 plus 5 is 40. Okay. Now this is the number of scores, total number of the scores. So we got the number of the scores. Now we want the sum of the scores, right? So to get the sum of the scores, see, we know that 2 is repeated 2 times. That means 2 plus 2, it is equal to 4. So instead of adding them, we can easily multiply them. So f into x. 2 plus 2 is 4. And we know that 5 is repeated 8 times. That means 5 plus 5 plus 5, we should write 8 times and then add them. So after adding 5 8 times, naturally we are going to get 40, isn't it? So that we can directly multiply here and get 5 into 8 is 40. Then in the same way, 6 into 10 is 60. 8 into 7 is 56. 10 into 8 is 80. 12 into 5 is 60. So now when we add all these numbers, we are going to get the sum of that data or sum of that scores. Okay. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Then 6 plus 8, 14, plus 5, 19, plus 6, 25, plus 4, 29, and 1 carried 30. So I hope this is correct. So let us check once again. 4 plus 6, 10. So 1 carry. This is 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 8, 20. 29, 30. Okay, done. Yes. Now we got the sum of this. So I will write it in the form of f of x. The first thing is mean of all these scores is denoted by x. So this is equal to the sum of the scores. I have written as summation of f of x, f into x, and divided by number of the scores, that is equals to n. So that means 300 divided by 40. After cancellation of 0, I will get 30 by 4. So how much we get this one now? 4 sevens 28, 4 sevens 28, then 4 fives 20, that means 7.5. So the mean of all these scores is 7.5. So I will put this in the square bracket like this. Later we are going to use it. Then actually our problem is to find the mean deviation, right? Mean deviation about the mean. That's why we have found the mean here. Now we want the deviations of the scores from the mean. So let us find them. The deviations of these scores from the mean. Totally how many scores are there? 40 scores are there. So we should never forget this. So, okay. So the deviation of 40 scores from the mean we have to find out. So let us see that one now. So I am going to find the deviation x minus x bar. So this is the deviation, and at the same time I will take, okay, let us take the absolute values later. So x is here and x bar is here. So we have to subtract these two numbers, keep it in mind, x and x bar, okay. 2 minus 7.5. So clearly it is minus 5.5. 5 minus 7.5. So clearly minus 2.5. 6 minus 7.5. So clearly minus 1.5. 8 minus 7.5. So clearly 0.5. 10 minus 7.5. Clearly 2.5. 12 minus 7.5. So clearly, I think how much? 12.5. 12.5 means, okay, 5. Is this 5.5? Let us see this one. .5. So 4.5. Then we need its absolute values. So I am going to find the absolute values of these. Absolute values of x minus x bar. So we just write the positive values removing this minus sign like this. Okay. Now we want 40 absolute values. So we are going to multiply these two with these numbers. Why? Because actually score 2's are repeated 2 times, but here we have written only 1 time. So that means we want another 5.5. So that is why what we are going to do here is f into x minus x bar absolute values. So these f values we should multiply with these values so that we get 40 absolute values. Okay. 2 into 5.5, how much will we get? So it is 11, right? 11.0, let me write this one. 8 into 2.5, is it 16? Okay, 20 I think. 20. 10 into 1.5, so it is 15. 7 into 0.5, so it is 3.5. 8 into 2.5, so it is 20. So see here, 2.5 into 8, 5 8 is 40, 8 to 16, 20. Okay. 5 into 4.5, 5 5 is 25, 5 4 is 20. Now these are 40 absolute values. Now we can add all these values so that we can find the mean of all these deviations. The problem is that only, find the mean deviation, right? So we can find the mean of all these deviations by adding these numbers. So I am going to add these numbers. Summation f of absolute values x minus x bar. So here if I add this, it is 5 plus 5 is 10. So I'll carry 1 here. 2 plus 5, 7, 7 plus 3, 10, 10 plus 2, 12, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 92, 92 totally. Okay, now our problem is to find the mean deviation. So let me do the mean deviation here. Mean deviation is equals to, as usual, summation of all the deviations, that is summation of f into x minus x bar divided by total number of terms, that is n. So that means 92.0 divided by how much? 40, or clearly 92 by 40. So 92 by 40. Let us do this part. 8 into 2 means 18. 12, I take a point 0 into 3. So that means the total answer is 2.3. So this is how you can find the mean deviation for ungrouped data and for discrete frequency.